Amen.
Everybody please face the flag and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. With that, I'll officially call this meeting to order. Deanne, can I get a roll call, please? Here.
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 All right. We can notice that Dr. Simmeroth is not able to be with us tonight. He's doing some family things. Wish him well on that. Ms. Whitmer, if you'd like to take over.
So we are going to start with the report, and I just want to give a shout out to Redstone Intermediate as her librarian, Stephanie Parker, received an OECU grant this month. So we're excited about any of our teachers who write grants and continue to contribute to the educational environment. So congratulations, Ms. Lewinsky. And also just a quick recognition for all the students and organizations, middle school, high school, elementary throughout the community on an outstanding Check Fest. It was a wonderful parade, recognized many, many organizations. And so that was a wonderful time to see all of our kids. And then last, on behalf of Dr. Simmeroth and the entire leadership team, we want to congratulate our Character Strong students. And it's always a highlight of the night. And so we're excited to recognize them and congratulate them.
That's your cue.
That was the segue, gentlemen.
That's not. All right, so secondary people, you guys, if you'd like to come forward, we're going to start with secondary. And we will start with our Yale student. My name is Adam Jewell. I'm the Executive Director of Secondary Education, and every month we like to recognize individuals from each of our sites for their character that they've exhibited throughout the month. And so when I call your name, if we can get the principal and the student to come up and stand in between the podium and Mrs. Whitmer, and then everyone else can kind of fall in line if you guys will stand up here. All right, so from Yale, there you go. Yep, we want everybody to see you. Perfect. So from Yale, we have Miss Jody Pendleton, and her student is Mr. Landon Morris. Landon is our Character Strong Student of the Month for Yale. He has perfect attendance. He works hard in class and has obtained 2 credits so far and is close to finishing a 3rd one on top of passing his naturalization test this week, which is a requirement for graduation. More importantly, this year, I've seen so much growth and maturity in him, participating in class, giving his thoughts during discussions, and offering to work with other classmates on assignments. I had a conversation with his mom this week to let her know how well he was doing, and she told me she has seen the same growth in him at home this year as well. We're very proud of Landon this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Landon Morris. You guys will go down the aisle and get a picture. Next, from Yukon High School, we have Miss Melissa Barlow and Taylor Brakefield. Taylor is our Character Strong Student of the Month due to her leadership qualities. In class, Taylor is respectful and holds herself accountable as well as others around her. She encourages the class to participate when things might be hard or uncomfortable. She is someone I can count on to set an example in and out of class. Taylor is always challenging herself to be better than she was the day before. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Brakefield. Next, from the middle school, we have Mrs. Karen Garcia and Miss Lainey Ediger. Lainey is a beacon of respect at YMS. She greets everyone with a warm smile and interacts with her peers, teachers, and support staff with equal kindness and consideration. Lainey values others' perspective, is always mindful of others' feelings, and avoids making hurtful comments and judgments. Lainey's empathy and compassion create a positive and inclusive environment and makes her a natural leader. She encourages others to strive for their best, celebrate their achievements, and her positive influence helps grow our supportive and collaborative atmosphere at YMS. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lainey Ediger. From Redstone Intermediate, we have Miss Tracy Sawinski and Mr. Owen Blanton. Owen is so genuine and has a positive attitude. doing everything to the best of his ability with the brightest smile on his face. He's a loyal friend, hard worker, and is the perfect example of a student that exemplifies the Redstone way every day. Thank you for all you've done the last 2.5 years to make Redstone the best school on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Owen Blanton. Next from Lakeview, we have Mr. Sam Summers and Miss Alexis Pendleton. Alexis is a delightful young lady. Alexis strives to do her best in everything she does. She's a loyal friend, a hard worker, and a reliable helper for the adults around her. She shows maturity and a sense of responsibility in everything that she does at Lakeview. We are proud to have her as part of our school. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Alexis Pendleton. And last but not least, we have Mr. Ryan McLaughlin from Independence. His student couldn't be here today, but I do want to read all the good things that have been said about Jackson Apodaca. Jackson is a kind, quiet leader among the 6th grade. He looks out for others, continues to put forth great effort in all his classes, and demonstrates the Miller 5 on a daily basis. Jackson goes above and beyond for all his students and teachers. We are so proud to have Jackson in Pod A and at Independence Intermediate. Jackson Apodaca.
All right, if I could have my incredible elementary team of principals come on up with your Miller Strong winners. We'll just go in the order they come up. Go ahead. Come on up, Mrs. Mitchell. Sure. All right, my name is Scott Hine. I'm the Executive Director of Elementary Education, and I'm thrilled to announce this month's Miller Strong winners for our pre-K 3 sites. And we will start with Parkland Elementary. Standing next to me is Mr. Nicholas Payne. Nicholas is a great example of how to show respect to others. Each and every day he is found in class being a great role model on how to listen and be kind to those in the class. He always uses his manners as well. His teacher says, we are so lucky to have Nicholas in our classroom. And I know Mrs. Mitchell is proud to have you at Parkland. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Payne, Parkland's Miller Strong winner. Congratulations. All right, next, Mrs. Gallagher will bring up Central's Miller Strong winner. Central's winner, this is Allie Frank. Allie is incredibly responsible, respectful, and kind. She is helpful, she plays well with others, and she can always be counted on, and she always has a great attitude. Those are great character traits to have. We're very proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Allie Frank, Central's Miller Strong winner. All right, next at the ranch, Mrs. Lipe is standing here with Miss Rose Newton. Rose shows great responsibility each and every day at the ranch. Her commitment to completing tasks on time, helping classmates, and taking ownership of her actions sets a remarkable example for others. It has been a true pleasure to watch her grow from a bright-eyed kindergarten student into an accomplished 3rd grader. Her journey has been filled with curiosity, hard work, and amazing accomplishments. What wonderful words. Congratulations, Rose Newton, Ranchwood's Miller Strong winner. And next is Myers. Mrs. Dutton comes up with Mr. Brandon Conives. Brandon was nominated by both last year's teacher and this year's teacher for showing strong character. He constantly makes the right choices without asking for praise or recognition. Therefore, he often flies under the radar. He works hard in class, follows classroom expectations, and gives respect to all of his classmates and teachers. His actions in class show respect, but he also shows respect for himself by taking his own learning very seriously, and he always gives his best effort. He is a great example of a character-strong hero. Brandon Conives, Myers Miller Strong winner. Congratulations, Brandon. And next we have Dr. Pierce with Surrey's winner, Miss Torin Payne. 3rd grader Torin Payne has been doing an incredible job at being respectful, responsible, and safe. She's a great leader in the class. She kindly reminds others to be respectful while the teacher is talking. That's very helpful. Or when we're getting in line to go out into the hallway by showing the quiet coyote. She will sometimes even take it upon herself to help clean around the classroom at the end of the day. Wow, Torin, that's a great, great model for others. And that's why Torin Payne is Surrey's Miller Strong winner. Congratulations. And next is Mrs. Smith with our Skyview Miller Strong winner. Step up so everybody can see you. We're so proud of you. This is Miss Lily Dobrinsky. Lily, oh, you have a fan club. Lily always uses manners and wears a smile every day. Anytime she asks or answers a question, it's always yes, please, or no, thank you. It is never prompted. It is just her natural response. Such a joy to see and hear first thing in the morning from breakfast to classroom. Lily is a quiet role model that can be counted on for a positive attitude even when things are difficult. Lily is truly a Skyview superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, Lily Dobrinsky. All right, and Mr. Stowe from SheDeck is coming up with our SheDeck Miller Strong winner, Miss Luna Short. Luna shows respect by listening to others and treating all people the way she wants to be treated. We can always count on Luna to lead by example and lend a hand to support fellow classmates. Teachers and students love to spend time with Luna because she's respectful to everyone around her. They're so proud of her at SheDeck, and they just asked Luna that you keep showing the world your SheDeck shine. Congratulations, Luna Short, SheDeck's Miller Strong winner. All right, so parents, we're going to do a group picture at the back, and then we'll have an opportunity for them to dismiss, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. We're proud of these students.
I told you it was a highlight. They're going to take a group picture, Dr. Sayano, and then they'll dismiss. And Mr. Sanders, I know, right?
Everybody talk amongst yourselves.
All 6 of you.
Ready to pick back up. What are you waving at? All right. Next up on our agenda, we're going to bring in the OSSBA, Dr. Sayano. This is going to help us. You're going to give us kind of a presentation and help us kind of fill the shoes of Dr. Simmeroff's retirement. So let's hear what you got to say.
Well, we hope so. First of all, I want to say, boy, I love coming to a board meeting where boards start with student recognitions. I don't know if that's the thing I missed most, and I don't think there's any better way to start a board meeting. So kudos to you, and thank you very much for starting your board meetings that way. I'm Joe Sayano. I'm with the Oklahoma State School Board Association, and my partner here, introduce herself.
My name is Amber Fitzgerald, and I'm the Director of Member and Community Engagement for OSSBA.
And we appreciate the opportunity to present to you on behalf of the OSSBA regarding your superintendent search. Stephanie Hyder, I think a lot of you know Stephanie. She leads our area, this area of the OSSBA. Unfortunately, she had a death in her family and couldn't be here this evening, but wanted to pass on to you that information, and she would love to work with the Yukon Public Schools. So just to open, Yukon Public Schools is a great school district, well respected within the state, outside of the state, and the School Board Association really looks forward to, if the board would like us to, work with you as you go through the process of looking for your next leader. Strong foundation in leadership in this school district. And I can tell you from our conversations and people that we know around the state, this certainly would be a superintendency and a community that would, I think, elicit lots and lots of interest and quality candidates. So we look forward to working with you and the board and the community in this next and most important search. But to say clearly, when you work with the Oklahoma State School Board Association, we understand, and we want you to understand, and your community to understand, that this is your search. It's your superintendent. It's your community. Our job is to facilitate. And what I mean by that is there's one really important thing you need to do, and that's focus on your candidates, focus on your community, and focus on where you're going in the future. Our job is to make sure that we do all of the detail work so that that's where your focus can be. So I'm going to briefly go through some of the processes and some of the responsibilities we have. Then I'm going to turn it over to Amber and have her talk a little bit about other services that we provide within this process of superintendent search. And then we'll open up to questions. So first thing that we do is we work with the board to establish a search timeline. Really key and really important. And I will say, with the leadership that you've had there and this board, the timing of beginning this process is I think very good. And I think it was done in a way that will give this board and this community the best opportunity to do a quality search and find a quality leader. So, but it will be your timeline to be when you'd like to get started, when you'd like to kind of have that conclusion. And one of the ways of doing that is, here's where we'd like to end up. Let's work our way backwards to where we start and how we start to get there. We will post all the openings. We'll post them online and on our application management system. So again, this is something that takes that problem, that issue of collection out of the hands of the board and the facilitating of that, and we facilitate all that. We advertise for the superintendent vacancy, and we have experience in advertising, certainly locally, certainly regionally, and we've done many searches that have a national implication. Again, that'll be something the board will talk about, where they would like to go and how broad they would like to cast that net as you look for the next leader. We'll also recruit candidates for the board. Now, again, when I say recruit candidates, we will talk to people that obviously we have people in our office and the OSSBA work with superintendents across the state. We really work with superintendents across in a regional way and sometimes even a national way. We will help provide information out there on a personal basis with those superintendents that might have an interest, assistant superintendents, and other people that might be qualified. We'll receive the credentials of the candidates. We'll respond to inquiries regarding the vacancy. So again, those things aren't constantly coming to the board in different ways. We'll schedule the interview dates with the finalists. So as you begin getting closer and closer to looking at the candidates you're really interested in that meet the qualifications that you'll set up along with us, we'll begin creating that interview process. We basically notify the candidates who are not selected as finalists, and out of the numbers that you might be reviewing, there'll be some that won't make that first cut of where you want to begin talking with people. We'll do all the notifications related to that. We'll provide interview guides for the board members. And when I say this is obviously we know there's legal requirements in how we do interviews, but we'll also help the board create a set of interview pool questions that most target the things that you think are most important for you and your community. And we've done a number of these that we've worked together on. Every board's a little different. The sets of questions are a little bit different. The areas of focus are a little different. We'll help you kind of create that pool of questions to give you the best sense of the candidates that you're talking to. Then we'll assist the board with the development as you get to that final stages, help you with development of an employment contract. And we will do all of if there are reimbursements or financial things that have to happen because of travel or those kinds of things based on the scope of your candidates, the candidates that you're talking to, we'll help process that and make that happen for you. That's basically the basic services, and that's what we do for every candidate. Then there are additional services. I'm going to ask Amber to talk a little bit about those, where boards will discuss that as the process is going on. You may find some of those additional services or something that may be more, something that you'd also like to also get engaged with. And we can talk about those as we go through the process. But Amber, would you like to just visit about those things?
There's one more piece of the basic package that I want to touch on before we talk about
I
it.
forgot to.
You know, it's not on your sheet, so it's not your fault. That's my fault. Yes, we do include a community survey as part of the process where you can gather feedback about the characteristics, expertise, and experience that your community would like for you to seek in your next school leader, which is a really important part of the process that helps the search be better, us find a better candidate, and most importantly, engages our communities in the schools that they love and support on an ongoing basis.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes, sir.
How long does that process normally take if we choose to do something like that?
It is within the timeline that would exist that you put together with Stephanie. Often that we say
Sure,
about
just how long does it typically take to get that information and get it back?
the survey is usually open about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
The process will typically last about the entire process, about 4 months. However, we can adjust that based on the needs of the school board.
Good.
That would just be a typical process.
Yeah, and again, I think the timing of, if you should choose to work with the School Board Association, Stephanie will probably start out by sitting with you and really planning out that whole process to where you have a target ending. And what we found the best is if you kind of work your way back, so those surveys go out at the right time, the job gets posted at the right time, so that all those things kind of occur when they need to occur, leading up to that, whatever that kind of target date is that we're looking for.
And the survey is early in the process because you want that feedback to inform the process. So good question. So, but beyond that basic package, we do offer additional options that can be an enhance the search for you, for the candidates, for the district. Hopefully you'll have the opportunity to talk with the board about things that might be a good fit for your district and that you would want to add as well that would be helpful to you here in Yukon. The first option is the communication package, which is, as a communication specialist, is my favorite part of the package. It's where you have the opportunity to work directly with our communications team. We'll work with the school board president, as well as a staff member that you appoint and want us to work with to put together the publicity and promotion about the search. We'll have information that will go to for local media, extremely important messages for your internal staff, your school family here, so that they have information about the search process. They know how they can get involved. They know about the survey. And then probably the most fun part of the communication package is helping roll out through a press release, an internal message, social media, the announcement of the person who's going to be leading here at Yukon Public Schools when you're ready to do that. Another piece is additional targeted marketing. As Joe mentioned, we automatically will post this job and work with our partners at other administrators associations across the region, across the state, as well as school board associations. But if you want to advertise in larger venues, we certainly have experienced that, and that's just done at cost. If we want to have seek candidates, we believe in casting the biggest net we can and I love to have a big candidate pool, but what matters is that we have a quality candidate pool, so we can target that as you see fit here in Yukon. Another way to gather feedback from the community that is optional is by hosting focus groups or listening groups where Stephanie will come. She can either have community meetings, or you can invite specific stakeholder groups to come in and talk about what it is that they would like to see in their next school leader, which gives you a little bit more in-depth information than just the survey on how your community is feeling about this next step and what would make the school district most successful in the future. The next piece is the interview concierge, which really is a way to make life a little easier for you on interview day, where we will be there, we will welcome the candidates, we will help facilitate the day so that you can focus on what matters most, the interview process and selecting the right candidate for the position. We just make sure that we take care of those logistics so that you can focus on your main job for that day. If you should bring in a candidate who requires travel and want to reimburse that candidate for travel, we can help you facilitate that as well. And then the final piece of the additional options would be the due diligence screening, which school boards can decide if they want to do. Often they don't make that decision until they narrow their candidate pool to one to three finalists. And you can make a decision if there is an additional background check and screening you want to do on the individuals before you either hire or move them further into the process. So Joe, I will give it to you to close and be happy to help with questions.
Let's just open it up to questions first of all.
Okay, I'll start. This process that you listed here, is this any different than, say, 10 years ago, or is it basically the same process that you were doing 10 years ago?
I'm too young for that. No, I don't do that. Tanya, I would say it's the framework of the same type of process, but I think we've learned a lot over those 10 years. And, the OSSBA has done, I would say, the majority of searches, school superintendent searches in the state, from the largest districts in the state to the smallest. So going through that process, I'd say the framework is similar, but I really think the ones that I've been involved with have been much more refined over the last few years of how we get to where the board wants to get to and on time.
Okay, and Suzanne and I have both been through this process once before. We got 3 newbies over here.
They
Right.
are old enough for
They
that.
are- yeah.
I would like to state that
So am I,
Dr.
I'm
Simroff
afraid.
has been here for 10 years. Just throwing that out there.
I am too. So
Seems different to me. Seems like there's a lot of additional charges that I don't remember us having.
That's because we didn't. A lot of this was included in the original package.
yeah, I think
10 years
that
ago.
I think that obviously costs have gone up for a lot of different things, but I think that the basic package has stayed the same. And I think if you look locally or nationally in terms of superintendent searches for districts of this size and the scope that you'll probably want to do, I think you'll find it to be pretty reasonable. You're certainly more than welcome to look. I think the additional pieces become very, very, are varied based on the size of the district. Some districts are small enough that some of those extra services are not as necessary. In other districts, they find that they are, and there's a lot of other people outside of Stephanie and within the staff that then begin to have to take part in the process. So I think that explains a little bit of the extra charges. The one thing I will say, and I don't care if it's a small district or large district, a leadership search is stressful to you as a board, certainly stressful to staff, and in a lot of sense, stressful to community. So any help that you can get in facilitating communication I think makes the process easier for everybody. And that's why I think that we have some of that in the basic, but we have an expanded piece of that in the additional cost, for districts, especially districts that are larger in the sense that becomes a real critical piece. So yeah, it has changed in that sense, but I think that for the most part, I think that we have refined it to even a better service without really a significant change in the original costs of it.
This is not, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Somebody else take over.
I was gonna say, like, I know, I'm gonna argue our peanuts here. I mean, this isn't that much.
I think he was.
So I think if we want to utilize some of the stuff, it's reasonable. So that's all I gotta say.
Go ahead.
The communication package, that's the survey, is that correct?
Go ahead.
No, the survey will be included in the package. I mean,
In the basic.
in the basic package
Oh,
because
okay.
it's critically important to have that feedback from the community. The communication would be related to the process of the search, making sure the community understood it. It does help promote participation in the survey, so you might get better feedback by utilizing communication services because we're actually promoting the availability of the survey as an opportunity to provide input. And then also includes the announcements associated with the hire. So we utilize press releases, internal messages, because we believe communicating first with your internal staff is critically important, and social media for community members to understand the process and to participate.
Okay, then on the focus group and listening sessions, that's totally separate from the survey.
Yes, sir. If you decided that you wanted to have a community meeting or community meetings or have some stakeholder groups come in, that would just give you some additional feedback a little deper than the survey. Allows us to ask follow-up questions.
So I'll give you an example of a search that Amber and I participated in. We did that actually along with Stephanie, the community, that forum piece. What we're able to do with that, if that's what the board would like, is bring in small groups of community people that have some continuity of what their interests are and just get feedback. And what we do with those is we give that feedback directly as it's said to us, to the board to look at as they consider candidates and creating what I always say is you have to create a profile of what you're looking for in a leader. And the best way to create that profile is to get a lot of input. And that's one source of input that some boards utilize, others don't. And I also say on the communications piece, we know that not every district in the state is fortunate enough to have a communications director. We can help that, or we can work in alignment with your communications director. So.
Thank you.
Dr. Steiner, can you tell me any districts about our size that you've worked with in the past couple of years? Are you allowed to tell me any of that information?
Yeah, I can tell you if I can remember. If Stephanie was here, she could rip them all off for you. Who's been recent?
Enid was recent. It's
Enid.
probably size.
We just did Oklahoma City, obviously bigger, but Oklahoma City, we just finished.
She's going to be so mad at
She's
us.
going to be mad at us for not asking this question, having the list.
So that's a no.
This is the last. We kind of jumped in here at the end. Boy, there's a ton. I mean, she's working with a lot of.
We did Edmund search.
We did Edmund. We did. What's she doing up in
Miami.
Miami right now? I think she has like 15 searches going on at this point.
Currently.
So currently, of all different sizes, we've done 85 to 90 over the last 6 to 7 years, of all sizes.
And as soon as I get to the car, I will email an entire.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yes, Deer Creek.
Deer Creek, just finished Deer Creek.
Anybody else got anything?
Having done this before, I just want to say that I was president the last time we did it, and I really appreciated not having to call people and tell them they didn't get the job. That was really nice. And all of the interviews that were put together and the rubrics and the assistance that we had was very, very good. And I think it was kind of new for OSSBA at the time. And I feel like we've got such a great community here, but it's very diverse. And so in doing that, I think this communication piece is going to be vitally important, and that we get as much feedback from our community members, our parents, guardians, that we bring in as much of that as we can to kind of, my mother used to say, let's boil it down and skim it off, but, let's rise to the top and see what comes out of that. And, take the things that the members of our community all have in common that are important to everyone. And the bottom line for all of that, for all of us always, is what's the best thing for our students, period. So, having that in place is going to be important. And I loved what happened for us last time. And so I think that, focus groups are great, all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, thank
Now,
you. For
district like this,
doing
we find that it's pretty rewarding for the district to go. You don't want to go through the process. It's challenging sometimes, but it's usually pretty rewarding for a district like this to go through the process. A lot of the good things that you really get affirmed going through the process.
Right.
So we'd be love to help you with it. We will get you that list. We'll email you the list of the most recent searches.
One more thing, Dr. Sano, if Ms. Cannon, if she elects to notify candidates who are not selected as finalists, can we get a discount on the price?
If she's going to want to say all the yeses and let somebody else say the no's. I see the writing on the wall on that.
I think I was the concierge last time because I met people at the door. I brought them in when the interview was over. I took them out, all
That
of
is
that.
definitely one of the newer services.
Yes, it
One of my
is,
favorite
because that was me last time.
Other questions?
No, I'm good. I don't have any at this time. No, we appreciate it. I think it's valuable. So
Well, thank you for the opportunity. And
Thanks for
any other
coming out.
questions, just let us know.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Please extend our sympathies to Stephanie on her loss and tell her that we're sorry she couldn't be here tonight. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
All right, move on to board member communications and announcements, individual board member comments. Mr. Colson, we'll start with you. Do you have anything?
not this evening.
Ms. Cannon?
Well, I'm going to steal a page out of Leonard's book tonight. I went to the Mustang competition for the Oklahoma Band Association, and our band placed, I think, fourth. I'm not sure, but they won 2 of the other awards, which was crowd favorite or the best presentation, some things like that. If you haven't had a chance to see this presentation this year, I've been on this board 13 years. This is my favorite one yet. It is so dramatic and it's so, it just is big and it was great. Now, I thought they should have been maybe second at worst, but they did place in the top 5. So I'm excited about what's going on with the band now. So anyway, and I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. I think we're off to a good start to this school year. I think we've had some interesting challenges already. And I think that the leadership that you all have provided has really been good for our buildings and our principals and teachers and most of all our kiddos. So thanks for what you're doing. And let's see, fall break is when? Next week, right? Okay. Thank you.
Jeff, you got anything?
No comment.
Back to you, Leonard.
Okay, well,
He was not at the band contest. Just let
Oh.
yeah,
Shake
I've been, but I've got to see them perform at the football game, so
yeah.
I can't say I didn't support them. No, not too much. I know that the kids are all busy with a lot of extracurricular activities, and I do enjoy going to those as much as I can, but I haven't done as much this year. The only comment I've got is I had a community member tell me since last month, whenever we voted to clean out the original school building. Well, it's not the original, but the school building that sits next to us over here. They asked that we make sure that we take that
whatever it's called, off the top of it and make it look more like its original building.
Duly noted.
Yeah. Well, we were able to donate several things to the City Historical Association.
Very cool.
And that was really important too, because we've got to maintain that history.
All right. Well, I started to look ahead, and as I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the next thing coming up, I noticed that we have parent-teacher conferences, the 3rd, the 8th, the 10th, and it dawned on me that a lot of the faces out here are principals, and you're not only here tonight sitting through this meeting, but you're also at your schools on the 3rd, the 8th, and the 10th. So I want to say thank y'all for doing what you do. All right.
Cody.
Your turn. You had your turn.
I know I've had my turn,
Mr. Colson, you have time.
but
I yield.
this month is Principal Appreciation Month.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything y'all do. Y'all work endless hours. We appreciate it.
Again,
Thank
y'all. All right, moving on. I'm gonna skip over 5B, upcoming meetings. Look over that. We got, except call breaks already been mentioned. Going into 6, request for patients to address the board. Yeah, we got anybody? Okay. Moving on, finance consent docket. We have any questions on the finance consent docket?
I don't have any questions.
All right, do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve all the business items on the finance consent docket as listed.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Oh,
Yes.
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 yes. All right, moving on to our business consent docket. We have a chance to look over everything. Anybody have any questions? This will be 8A through 8K. Any conversation?
Make a motion to approve all the business consent docket items as listed.
I have a motion on the table. A second.
Second.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right. All right, we have nothing under none, or we have an action now, yes. Move on to 9. We have.
Wait to approve this?
Yeah,
This is an action item?
This is written very weird in this elementary education rationale. I don't have an action on it. I just have the rationale for it.
I think it's an information item only.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the adjunct application.
Boom.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the adjunct application.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, do we have any new business? Nothing? Great. Florida's gonna have some new business soon. All right. Oh, moving on to 11, vote to convene an executive session.
I make a motion to convene an executive session.
The second.
Yes.
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 Mr. Sanders, do you need Ms. Lepsack for anything regarding personnel?
Nope. I don't believe so. On 11C, it's a posted personnel docket.
Make a motion that we approve the personnel docket.
Second,
Got another motion and a second.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, moving on to 11D, do we have any discussion on possible action on hiring the OSSBA to manage the superintendent search?
I make a motion to approve hiring OSSBA for our search, superintendent search.
Second,
Got a motion and a second on 11D.
Yes.
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 Yes. Like to adjourn this meeting?
Yes. Got a motion to adjourn,
Second.
a second.
Oh, sorry, Brian, I
That's
didn't
all right.
step on your toes there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.